Well, I hope you do realize that it takes quite a bit of time and effort for your employees to come up with some of these reasons. But in all seriousness, this is not funny, and you and I know it, and I know exactly what happens when somebody calls off. You certainly don't overstaff expecting people to call off, and you do have legal ratios that you have to keep. So when somebody calls off, this does throw a spin in the day, doesn't it? So I'm going to say to you right up front, you really have two basic choices for people who call off. You can fire them and do that legally so that you don't get into a jackpot with your unemployment and legal issues. Or you can be determined to fix the problems and the reasons and try to put a stop to these call-offs. Now, if you fire them, let me just warn you that most likely that same exact type of thing is going to come up again and again. But if you decide you're going to fix the problems, then you're going to get to the root of why people call off in your center. And maybe you'll find that it's not just the person. Maybe it's a problem that's going on in your center. So let's look to see if maybe that's it, and you can alleviate that problem for all of your potential call-offs in the future. 3 reasons why people might be calling off. Okay, I've put them into 3 categories. The 3 categories are, they might be personal issues, they might be issues that are occurring in the center, and they might be policies and procedures of the center. And let me go into explanation. And again, ask questions as we go along. And I see, Alicia, you're saying, yes, lots and lots of personal issues. Yes, I know. So let's take a look at those. Personal issues might include personal illness, family issues, or financial problems. If you want to take the time to know and understand your staff issues, then you need to know the reasons for them calling off. And I say, if you want to take the time. If this is somebody you hired 4 days ago and they've called off twice already, you don't have anything invested in them. And you may want to just say, this isn't working for me, you've got to go. But if this is an employee that you hired among others because this was the best employee, they've worked really hard, and now all of a sudden they're doing these call-offs, think about what they used to be like and see if you can help them to get back to that place. If you care about the employees, you want to be able to help them. However, you want to do it without putting your center's operations at risk. Make sure you're not putting your operations center at risk. What do I mean by that? I mean by letting them get away with too many call-offs, and then the state comes in and sees that you're not at your ratio. That's a big risk. You don't want to be fined by that. Perhaps your employees call off because they don't feel connected to the center, meaning it doesn't really matter whether they're there or not. They don't feel challenged to be there, or they don't really feel appreciated to be there. Now think about that. If they're calling off, let's think about you. If you were in their position and you called off, you would feel really guilty. You'd feel that somebody else is going to have to do your work. You'd feel that your manager is going to be put in a bind. You'd wonder who was going to do your work, etc. If those folks who are calling off don't feel that way, then what's the point in them coming? They may be bored. They may be frustrated. They just don't feel connected. They don't feel they have value. And that's a big reason why people call off. It's an easy fix. You need to begin to empower your staff and give them each a leadership position.